So in this video we're going to have a look at a concept called Ma'at. It's a concept and a goddess, but we'll get to that in a moment. It's really important to understand this concept because it really underpins many of the social, political and religious aspects of Hatshepsut's life and reign, and if we need to be able to articulate that correctly in responses that we may write. So Ma'at essentially means cosmic order, so justice and peace and order and righteousness, I suppose, and keeping at bay things like chaos. And it's represented and personified by the goddess Ma'at, and we can see her here with a feather in her hair. That's how we recognize the goddess Ma'at. However, Ma'at itself can be also just recognized as the feather, and if you know anything about Egyptian myth, we might remember about the weighing of the heart against the feather to determine whether someone's life was just. And that feather is Ma'at. That's the feather of Ma'at in that mythology. We have another image of Ma'at here, a stylized image with that feather in her hair, and again we just need to understand that Ma'at really helps us. It's like a religious worldview which helps shape for us political, economic and social life and understand that better. Hornung gives us a really good concise definition with some really good key terms that we can pull out and use in responses. So he says that, stated briefly, Ma'at is the order, the just measure of things that underlies the world. It is the perfect state of things towards which one should strive and which is in harmony with the Creator God's intentions. So we can pull out words like order, just measure, perfect state of things, in harmony, when we're writing about Ma'at in our own responses as well, and we can attribute that to Hornung, and that really strengthens our responses. So maintaining Ma'at was the king's responsibility, and we can see the king on this wall painting on the left hand side, and we can see Amun on the right hand side. So in the period that we're looking at, it was really the king's god to maintain Ma'at for Amun. So in this scene we have the king offering Ma'at. We can see the little feather coming out of her head up the top there, and he's offering Ma'at to Amun in order to maintain Ma'at. And the reason we needed to maintain Ma'at was to keep at bay those chaotic forces, and that was to prevent chaos from returning to Egypt. So chaos was represented by the things like the desert, foreign invaders, a lack of flooding of the Nile. All of these things would be representative of chaos, and chaos was personified by the god Isfet, who was often represented as a serpent, and he was the polar opposite of the goddess Ma'at. Whereas she represented justice and order, he represented chaos and disorder. So finally, the kings offered to Amun Ma'at, or maintained Ma'at, by protecting and expanding Egypt's boundaries, by going further and making Egypt bigger and ensuring that no foreign chaotic invaders came in, by maintaining the agricultural wealth of the empire, ensuring that the inundation happened and that good crops were yielded, and also by providing justice and peace for the people. So that's a very quick, brief overview of what Ma'at was, and we'll understand a little bit more in depth in class.